Hello guys, and welcome to today's installment of A Computers and Technology, in which we will be cobbling together a $70 media PC. And guess what? It's going right back to you guys because this is going to be the February giveaway prize. If you want to enter the giveaway, the link will be down below in the description. So we're going to be using this eMachines desktop as a base. This is the W3664, originally shipped with an AMD Sempron 1GB of DDR2, and I bought this at a garage sale over the summer for $5. Since then, I have upgraded this. My buddy came over, I think 2 days ago, and we threw in a dual-core Athlon and 4GB of DDR2 in preparation for this video. So it's partially upgraded already. I just want to make sure those parts would actually be compatible with the system, and the upgrade went really smooth. No problem there. Booted up into Ubuntu just fine, and I played around with it. Really snappy machine right now. But these upgrades are going to make it even faster. So I will be installing Ubuntu Mate 16.04 on this system, but if you win this, you can install what the heck, whatever you want on this. Don't worry about it. I personally prefer a full Linux distribution on my media PCs. But if you want to install Windows, or if you want to install something like Kodi or maybe some other Linux distro, feel free to. It's your machine at that point, and you can do whatever the heck you want with it. Now let's talk about the parts that I ordered. So ordering stuff was a little interesting because I ran into some issues. So I ordered a wireless card from the Amazon warehouse, and that wireless card shipped here without antennas, despite there being a nice big Amazon warehouse inspected sticker on the box. They clearly did not check to see if the antennas were there. So that shipped without antennas. I sent it back, and instead I bought this TP-Link wireless dongle because it was cheap and it's going to get the job done. I mean, we're not going to have any problems with this. It should be compatible with Windows and Linux, and I think it should be plug and play. So hopefully that makes life that much easier. For our video card, this is probably the most important part of this build besides the dual-core Athlon that's already inside the system. I decided to opt to go with a GT710. I was originally going to go with an 8400 GS, but, I compared the two, and I like the 710 better. Should be interesting to run some benchmarks on this card. Yes, I will be running some benchmarks on this system after we upgrade it. I'm going to be installing Windows just for the benchmarks, and then I'm going to wipe the Windows install and then install Ubuntu Mate, and that is what it will ship with. And then for our primary operating system drive, I have a 32GB King Diane SSD, and that should be fine for this PC. There's also a 160GB hard drive inside this PC too, so plenty of space for media content storage. I might speed this footage up right here, and I might not. I'm not really sure yet. By the way, I know I'm going to get some comments about the way I'm pronouncing Ubuntu Mate. Yes, it is spelled M-A-T-E with no accents over anything, but on the official Ubuntu Mate website, it says to pronounce it as Ubuntu Mate. It's named after some sort of herbal tea, I think. So I'm just trying to honor the way they want it to be pronounced. If you have a problem, don't take it up with me. Take it with the guys that are developing that operating system. So here is our GT710. I bought this off Amazon for $35. If you want to check this thing out, the link will be down in the description. The solid state drive was $23, and the TP-Link wireless dongle was $9.99. So if you want to check any of those parts out, all of those links will be down in the description. So here's our GT710. I'm going to move this bad boy off to the side. As you can see, I opted to go with the low profile version and the version without a fan, so should eliminate some noise there. Nice and silent, and it's a pretty low TDP GPU, so it should be nice and cool as well. I'm gonna need to speed this up because I'm gonna need to grab some scissors. As you guys can clearly see, the GT710 32GB solid state drive and a tiny little TP-Link wireless dongle are now unboxed, and at the moment you're taking a look inside our media PC candidate. So as I said earlier, threw in 4GB of DDR2, 2GB per stick. Look at those tiny little sticks right there, and I'll just zoom in so you guys can take a look at the model number of these DIMMs. There you go. I'm just going to toss this back into the PC, and it should be a pretty straightforward upgrade right here. Now, I originally planned on replacing this power supply because at first I thought it was a BezTech unit, and I'm not a huge fan of BezTech units. So I bought a Logisys power supply for $14 off Amazon. got a lot of bad feedback about it from my subscribers, and I decided not to use it. I'm like, okay, I'll just go with the best tech power supply, because originally I thought there was a best tech power supply in here. I went back and looked at the power supply the other day. Turns out this is a Delta Electronics power supply, so that's going to be completely fine for this build. I have worked with Delta Electronics power supplies in the past, and they've lasted a really long time, and I got a lot of good feedback about the Delta power supply in the comment section of the behind the scenes video, where I picked out the parts for this PC. If you want to check out the video, the link to it will be down in the description. It's a website exclusive video, so it's not on YouTube at the moment. Now there is really only one thing left to do at this point, and that is to throw all of these parts into this PC. That was an incredibly easy upgrade. All I had to do was throw in the GT710 and mount the solid state drive into the drive bay right there. As you can see, I didn't have a 3.5 inch to 2.5 inch adapter, so I just used some Velcro to Velcro it to the side of the drive cage, and I've done that several times, never run into any issues with it. If you have a problem with it, well, then don't enter the giveaway for this PC. I did run into a little bit of trouble when I was removing the brackets. I'm not sure if you guys saw that on camera or not. That placeholder bracket did not want to come out, but eventually I broke it out and put the card in. And as you can see, the TP-Link wireless dongle is snugly fit inside that USB 2.0 port. And cue initial power on test. Here we go. Come on. Some sort of output, please. Wow, look at the glare on that screen. Come on. Yes! Woo! So, it looks like everything is working. Let me grab a keyboard and go into the BIOS real quick. Now it's time to install an operating system, install some drivers, and run some benchmarks. So let's see what this bad boy can do. Now initially I planned on installing Windows 7 for benchmarking, but unfortunately that didn't work out. I ran into a ton of issues with installing Windows 7, drivers weren't installing properly, I was getting a whole bunch of compatibility issues, so I decided to give Windows 10 a try, and let me tell you guys, well, setting up Windows 10 was 10 times easier. I mean, everything just worked right out of the box, drivers installed with no problem, setup was really smooth, really quick, and overall using the operating system is, quite snappy. As you can see, I have Minecraft installed now, and I am playing it. I mean, this isn't the most powerful gaming PC in the world, but as you guys can see, right now at the moment, I'm getting about, a solid, that says 104 FPS right now. So, I mean, I have the settings turned down quite a bit just to get a smooth frame rate. You can see them all right here. But, for what it is, GT710, 4GB of RAM, and an Athlon, dual-core Athlon, it's really good. And as I said, I was going to run some benchmarks. I ran Passmark. I tried to run 3D Mark, ran into a lot of issues and just gave up, so no 3D Mark results. But the Passmark results were a bit low, and I kind of did expect that from the system. I mean, this isn't meant to be some crazy gaming PC. Considering that this PC total only cost me 70 bucks to build, I was perfectly happy with the results though, and this is going to make a fine media PC with Ubuntu Mate installed on it. Now, I also ran a benchmark on both of our storage devices, the 32GB King Diane SSD, which has performed flawlessly. Really happy with the SSD so far, and I also ran Crystal Disk Mark on that 160GB traditional hard drive as well, and I was happy with both of the results. As you can see, I have the Crystal Disk Mark results up on the screen right now. I think for the King Diane drive, I don't have it up in front of me right now, obviously, because I'm still playing Minecraft, but I think read speeds were around 132 megabytes per second, and then write speeds were a little bit lower. I think they're around 80 megabytes per second. But what we really want from this SSD is decent random read and decent random write speeds, and it has given us that. So once again, perfectly happy. Boot times are really fast. Applications open really quickly, and overall, it's a pretty decent little SSD for $20. Now, I think I've touched on everything as far as benchmarks and general system performance with Windows is concerned. I mean, it's definitely not a bad performer with Windows 10 installed, and if you get this PC and you want to install Windows 10, it works out pretty well. I don't have a activation key or a product key, unfortunately, so I'm not going to ship this with Windows 10. But you can go on King One, buy one for $20, and you have yourself a decent little media/gaming PC right here. So that's going to be about it for our little encounter with Windows. I'm going to wipe this hard drive again and install Ubuntu Mate. So the Linux install is going very, very well so far. I have not run into any problems. It's been much easier than that Windows install was. Now, I'm not bashing Windows. I like Windows. I use it every day, but I'm just stating the facts. It has been much quicker and much simpler installing Linux. At the moment, I am just running through some updates, and it should only be about 5 more minutes at this point. Now, Ubuntu Mate looks absolutely gorgeous on this 1080p display. Let me just minimize the update window here, like so, and check that out. That is beautiful, and I do have it set to use the proprietary Nvidia driver. That was easy, just a click of a button, waited 5 minutes, and restarted the PC, and it is in use right now. So just looks gorgeous on this display, and it makes me want to build a media PC of my own for this room. So that might be coming up in a future video. After a little bit more testing, I'm going to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed with the video playback capabilities of this PC on both Windows and Linux. It's about the same. It might be a little bit better in Windows, but it's not really a noticeable difference. On both operating systems, this system struggles to play back 1080p video at 60 FPS. I'm not sure what the bottleneck is here, whether it's the GT10, the Athlon, or something else within the system. I'm pretty sure it's the GT10 though. It plays back 1080p video at 30 FPS just fine, but when you bump it up to 1080p at 60 FPS, things just kind of stutter all over the place. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right now. Overall, using the system, I mean, this is a very, very fast system. I'm still satisfied with the system performance, but I expected a little bit more as far as video playback capabilities were concerned. Everything is working in Ubuntu Mate. And this is 1080p video at 60 FPS, and you can see right now that it's dropping quite a few frames. I'm not sure if you would call this watchable or not, and let me turn the volume down. And as you guys can clearly hear, audio is playing back through the HDMI interface, so that's working all fine there. But yeah, dropping quite a few frames, and personally, this really isn't watchable for me. Now, if we go to one of my older videos that were filmed in 1080p at 30 FPS, and you guys can tell I'm starting to get tired. Some of my speech is starting to go all over the place, but here's 1080p video at 30 FPS, and we're getting 0 frame drops right here. Trying not to make the performance demo with Linux section of this video too long, because I know you guys are going to get bored after a while, so I'm going to close out of this. We'll pop open an internet browser and head over to YouTube, and as you can see, drag this window around here. Overall UI is responsive, and animations are nice and smooth. So if we go to YouTube, and as you can see, I have already been there. Let's just hop over to one of my videos, and this is another clip at 1080p at 60 FPS, and unfortunately, let me bump it up here. As you can see, 720p at 60 FPS playback is just fine, but if we knock that up to 1080p, it will start to buffer everywhere. And that buffering is not from a connectivity issue. That wireless dongle is performing just fine. That buffering is from the fact that the GPU just cannot keep up with this video. Let's head over to my website. As you can see, loaded up just fine. I mean, this is, even this hardware is like overkill for a web browsing PC. And as you guys can see, once the page is actually loaded up, scrolling through here is nice and smooth, and we're having no problem browsing through my site. I mean, the web browsing capabilities of this PC are definitely reasonable, totally usable system. So I'm going to close out of this. As you can see, I didn't go too crazy with installing extra applications right here. I'm going to leave this pretty much as a stock base install. And by the way, if you guys do win this PC, the password is MediaPC. I tried to make it easy. There we go. There's some more info on our GPU if you guys are curious. I could take the liberty to overclock this, but I really don't want to, just for longevity's sake. If whoever gets this wants to overclock the GPU, they can play around with the clock speeds, but I am not going to touch that at the moment. So this is definitely one of those cases of live and learn. Next time I build a media PC, I'll spend a little bit more money on the GPU and buy something a bit beefier than the GT710. Now, I mean, the GT710 is going to be perfectly fine for day-to-day browsing, watching 1080p content at 30 FPS, you know, watching Netflix, YouTube, or just videos through VLC. But once you bump that frame rate up to 60 FPS, you do start to drop quite a few frames and it becomes unwatchable. If I had splurged and paid a little bit more and bought a better GPU, we probably wouldn't be in this situation, but I was trying to keep the cost of this project as low as possible because I have a budget and I have to adhere to that budget every single month. And if, you know, I put this thing at like 130, something like that, that's a little bit too much for me right now. So yeah, I was stuck with a budget of around $75. I hit that budget, and for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this build. This is going to satisfy, you know, the use case of probably like 90% of people. So just hook this up to your TV, watch some Netflix, watch some YouTube, have some fun with it. Don't forget to enter the giveaway if you want a chance at winning this PC. I will put the instructions and everything on my website. It will be open to people within the US because shipping is expensive and I am a college student. I don't have a lot of money to ship this internationally. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to say right now. Man, that just looks so good. Just check that out. Oh, that looks beautiful, and it makes me want to build a media PC of my own right now. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. If you didn't like this video, please tell me why. If there's something you really didn't like, please let me know so I could make the channel's content better. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to support me, you can use my Amazon or eBay affiliate links. Once again, all the parts I used to build this PC will be down in the description, including those Velcro cable ties and the Velcro I used to mount that hard drive, or solid state drive, to the side of the drive bay. Also, if you want to support me, you can check out my Patreon, and of course, please do not forget to drop a like on the Facebook page. You know, despite several setbacks, I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next installment of A Computers and Technology. So here's a little post-video content for you guys that decide to stick around. Now, I know a lot of you are probably going to say that I should have opted to go with a better used GPU off eBay. And I totally agree with you. If I were to do this all over again, I would have bought a used, probably a GTX 750 Ti. If I could have gotten one of those for, you know, 30 to 40 bucks, which is pretty realistic at this point. I think they're selling for about that on eBay right now. I totally would have gone for a used GTX 750 Ti because that card, or something like that card, would have allowed for 1080p video playback at 60 FPS. So if I were to do this all over again, totally agree with you guys, would have bought a better used GPU. Now, I'm really excited about something. So 2 nights ago, I was just chilling, doing some homework, and I got bored and went on eBay because I have been searching for a better laptop. Now, I absolutely love my IBM/Lenovo T60. This is an awesome laptop, but unfortunately, the specs of this thing will not allow me to edit video. Oh, I can't even open it right now. Will not allow me to edit video on the go. I've been very, very busy this semester, and I need a PC that's a little bit more of a punch behind it so I can edit HD video while I'm on campus or on the run or out somewhere. So I'm going to replace the T60, and I'm really, really sad to do so because I love this laptop. This is the best laptop I have ever used thus far in my life. And that might sound really dramatic, but this is a really great machine. I paid 10 bucks for it. I think I put about 100 bucks of upgrades into it. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's a lot. But keep in mind, there's a 120 gigabyte solid state drive in here, and that's half the cost. And of course, genuine Lenovo batteries, new Lenovo batteries are very, very expensive too. So yeah, that was all the cost right there. Pretty much just a solid state drive, new batteries, Ultra Bay battery, a 9-cell battery, and some extra RAM to go in there. And the system is just wonderful. But it's time to push it aside and make way for a Lenovo Thinkpad T 430. So this has the i5-3330M in it, I think. That's a dual-core processor with 4 threads. This is the first Lenovo ThinkPad, I think, to use that weird island-style keyboard design, which I'm not sure if I'm going to like or not. I'll talk about that in the actual unboxing video. But really excited. This is coming soon. I think it should come in on Friday, so hopefully I should have a video about it up this weekend. And I hope I'll be able to get using it as soon as possible. Really, really, really excited about this. And I think it's going to make a great replacement for the T60. Well, I hope at least, because the T60 is setting pretty high standards. So that's going to be about it for the post content. I still need to throw the PC back together because the panel's off and it's a big mess over here. Look at all these wires running all over the place, so I have some cleanup left to do. I'm going to publish this video and then call it a night. So, good night, guys.